Okay, getting set up here. I told you we were going to talk about the depth and such in pages. So, these are books that I got, oh man, many moons ago, way pre-COVID at Hobby Lobby for $1.50, it says. So, this is from Creative Haven. Now, in this picture, do you see how right around in here there's stuff that's growing up? So that would cast a shadow all around here. Not as much maybe here, because that's further away. Does that make sense? But like right immediately in this area, it would be darker. Okay? Now, if the sun is coming almost straight down, then there's only going to be a little bit of shadow here, here, and then here. Up underneath here is going to be darker. So you can have this area get lighter as it comes down. So lighter, and then it gets darker. Back here. All this back in here, behind the trees, would be a little darker because it's behind the trees. Okay, it's further away. Your eyes have to look through more stuff in the air, so to speak, the further away they look. There's just crud in the air. All right, so right under here would be a little darker because of the bench. But then I would put all of this area lighter because it's out in the middle. Then as you go further away, it's going to get darker. Okay, let's look at another one, because this one goes in all different directions. Okay, next book. Let's see what book this is. Spring Scenes. And again, it's Creative Haven. It was probably one of those deals too. Now, what I did here was I started light. I got darker as I went further away. Why? Because this building and these plants and the trees would make this area darker. There's not as much right here. Now what I would do is I would take, and I'm not sure, this is gray, this is not the color I was using. I would continue to do dark right here. Now this dark that's up here, whatever I used, I would use the same thing here. And then whatever this color is, I would use it through here. And then I would leave right across the front light and all in here lighter. Okay? Because as you went back, you had to look what was in the picture. There's stuff here that's blocking the light. So you come down, you do that area a little darker, do this medium, and then do this light. Go out and look at the horizon sometime. Look at that line and see if it's not getting just a little bit darker the further away you look, if there's trees and stuff around. If there's not, and you're standing in the trees, then it may actually be darker up close to you. This book. Again, Creative Haven. Now, on this one, I've got 3 blues, and I am going to go ahead and color. I've got, these are all Prismas, Electric Blue, 1040. Then my lightest is Sky Blue Light, 1086. And then my darkest is 1027 Peacock Blue. So on this one, I could have gone either way. Some of your pictures are going to be like that, y'all. You're going to have to decide, Do I want it going light to dark or dark to light? Now, for me on this one, I looked up here and I said, okay, there's nothing really casting a big shadow. If I play like my light is coming down, I could even say the light was coming from this way or this way, because down here, how this comes up in front of our area, that's casting a shadow and making this darker. Whereas this, because the way the artist drew the picture, everything's standing up here, so there's nothing really overlapping here, so this gets the lightest. So I did all of this area light, okay, my first shade. Then I brought in my second shade, and I'm going to come in and just do, see, those are individual pieces. Just do a little bit of shading in here, just a bit. I'm not going to go wild with it. In fact, it may not even show up to you what I'm doing. Just enough to get a little bit of that second color in there. It's just going to look a little bit better if you do have some of that second color in there. It'll make it just a little bit more three-dimensional. And you can see where I went around here and here. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Something that I plan on putting in my queue soon, I have the Crayola Colors of the World pencils of the skin tones, and I am going to go ahead and do some more people with skin tones using those pencils specifically. So if you've not got those, or if you've been at Walmart and you've seen them on clearance or a really good deal here lately, if you want to grab those, it's going to be a good time. Now, over here you can see I still come down with the lightest one there, so I'm going to come back in. And all of this through here, see, they don't really have a line, so you're just going to have to kind of guess at it. So I'm going to say through here, because I want to do like a scoop so that it mimics the scoop down here. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put some color. And that's mainly how you know if it's dark or light in the front versus on towards the back. Look at what is around. You might have a picture that is a windy path with trees on the sides. So if there's trees on the sides, it's going to be a little darker on the sides. Well, what's it going back to? Is it going back to a farm in an open field? If so, it may get lighter as it goes back because there's an open field. If the trees keep getting closer and closer to the back, then it might be that it actually gets darker as you go back. Now I'm with my second color now. And I'm really, yeah, the pencil sharpener ate it. I'm really holding back on this pencil so that I don't put too much pressure on here. I know I tell y'all all the time I'm heavy-handed. I really have to be careful because I can do like 3 layers in seconds. And people are like, no, do light layers. Well, I try to, but I'm very heavy-handed. So when a lot of people are like, oh, I do like 10 to 30 layers of coloring, yeah, I've yet to accomplish that. It's just not in my nature. to color that lightly. Okay, so see, now I'm coming down, and because I want that same shape, I'm going to come down to probably about here, and that's where I will overlap the darkest shade. Now, did you see me come up here? I'm coming up here to see what was what before I just colored that in. I want to make sure that wasn't a leaf, and it's not. It's just beside that flower. And I'm not doing this real neatly. I probably will not even finish this page. I'm using it as an example and a teaching tool. That's all I'm doing right now. Oh goodness, all these little bits. So you're watching this, I believe, on Saturday. So I am actually doing this on the previous Sunday. So if you watched my last video, yeah, I don't know if we've taken the in-laws home or not yet when you watch this. So just keep praying to that end that all will be good. You know, we've done all we can to prepare the house and get it as livable as possible for them with dementia. So at this point, there's really not a lot I should be fretting over. It's just who I am. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and add a little bit more here. And if you missed that whole story, it's in the last video. Yeah, a lot of people, I think a lot of my followers don't skip anything because they know them as part of the stories. That's just who I am too. I do a lot of talking. All right, so see how it came all the way up into here? So I know I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to make this color go up in here. Then I can always come back in and do some more blending. And over here, I'm going to go a little darker instead of the light. I'm going to go ahead and put this dark in. Now, is that a... Let's see, that's part of it, and then it jumps to there, I guess. And that may end up being darker. I just want to mark it as being part of that background while I'm there. That's a stem. This is not. This is not. This is not. And that one is. That is. This is not. So right now I'm just marking so that I know what gets colored when I come down there for the darkest shade. So I know everybody is back in school now. Do you find that once school starts, you have more time for coloring? Or is it about the same or less time? I think most of my viewers are a little bit older and maybe it doesn't matter to them. But for you that are younger, how does it affect you, or does it? Yeah, just curious. Just curious. All right, so getting all that in there. If you don't get a video next Wednesday, it means the in-laws are still here for some reason. So anyway, there's that. Let me get up here and look. Okay, we still have plenty of time, so I'm going to blow that up a little, and we're going to keep working on this one. Okay, so lighter here because all the foliage is going up. Darker down here because the foliage is coming up and casting that shadow on there. Just really trying to get some of this color in there. I really like how this balanced out and how the color was around the different areas. So I'm just kind of pushing some of that color in. It's not in your face color. It's really not. It's just kind of there. Okay, I am going to go ahead and jump to that last color. So this is the darkest shade. And you can see how dark this is. It gets real dark real quick. So if you have a hard time blending, you might need 4 colors in here instead of just 3. Or it might be that instead of a color quite this dark, maybe you need to go a lighter color. You know what I'm saying? That way it will be easier for you to blend. Remember how we say sometimes if you're in the basement coming upstairs, it gets lighter and lighter. You know, as you're coming up, it's lighter and lighter. If you're in the attic and you're going up into it, it gets darker and darker, but you don't want to miss a step and fall. Well, here too, if you skip too many shades, your picture's going to fall and you're not going to be able to blend. So be sure you're getting the right colors in there and that you're not jumping too quickly from light to dark. If you need 4 or 5 colors in here to be able to blend, then do that. Nothing says you have to do it in just 3 colors. Okay? You decide what you need. I haven't said it in a while. You know what I'm going to say. There's no coloring police. So you decide what you want to do and go from there. Okay? So now all these little areas that I marked earlier, I'm just going ahead and add that bit of color to them. Oh, also, let's see, sales last week when I was out with my daughter. If anybody does candies, candy melts, like the key lime flavor. What else was there? I think it was coconut, which I was like, oh, no, thank you. And there was a couple of other flavors. Maybe banana. I don't know. Anyway, they were like 80 cents at Michael's. Okay. I got a battery operated glue gun for like $3 at Michael's, if that. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Remember, there is a 40 off coupon right now at Michael's. I think there may be one also at Joann Fabrics because I need some. Now I'm going to come back in here again lower and go even a little darker. Okay? So now I'm going to make this even darker right here at the edge. It's just going to kind of frame the bottom of the picture up. Yeah, I need some tape runners for my scrapbooking of my granddaughter that I'm doing. And so they're on sale, I think, at one of the locations. I can't remember. I've slept since then, since I looked. But anyway, once I looked at using the coupon versus the sale price at one of them, it was better for me to go ahead and get the, I want to say it's a 4-pack at Michael's with the coupon. Michael's has gone back to coupons. I don't know if they're hurting or what, you know, because for a long time they just weren't even doing coupons. Not anything that was like the 40 off that we were used to. You know what I'm saying? So excited to see those coupons back. If you've got, and I don't know, it may already be expired by now. I should have told you earlier. I got a Big Lots, and I've got a card with them, just a discount perks card. And because I hadn't been there for a while, they actually emailed me a barcode to scan that was $10 off any purchase. So I was able to get some stuff from my mother-in-law for her house that was needing replaced. So that was another good deal. I need to get on here and tell y'all when I find those things, even if it's not a video day, just to say, hey, by the way, you know, because I think we all like a good deal. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. So now I could come up with this color, and I could still come in some of these little V's, some of these little spots where it's a little darker because of all the overlapping foliage. You can go in there and just add some darkness. And it just adds just that much more dimension to your background. Just watch that you don't come past where that second color was. Remember, first color, second color, third color. Third can overlap into second, but not up into first. We don't want to skip that step and stumble and not be able to blend. Okay? I could do the same thing over in here. Just add a little bit. Just play with it. You know, so many times, some of the best things I learn when I'm doing colored pencil is when I'm just playing around with it. Just playing, having fun. Now I'm fixing to get into the lighter area there. But do you see how that makes a difference? Just getting some of those other shades in there just to help pop what's in the front. You know, then these, if they're done like in a lime peel, the green that I always run out of. Anyway, using that color would be really pretty on these lily pads. And then a bright fuchsia for the flowers would really make this pop. There we go. So anyway, just have fun, play around with it, see what you can do. And then when you step back from it, you have dark to light because it's got something overlapping it that calls for it to be darker. I did one, not very good. It was a sloppy, quick run through. Let me see if I can find it. Was it even in this book? Yes, there it is. Look at there. So the stones, lighter here. There's nothing around right there. Then these bushes and foliage start coming in. So I started getting dark around here. And then it gets up to here, and all this up here is shadowing. So we're lighter there. Okay. And those colors, I think those are actually, the light is 30% warm gray, 1051. So I did all that. Then my next shade was 50% warm gray, 1054. So then I came in and just started coming out. And don't worry if you get into the in-between lines, the grout or whatever it is, because you can do that darker as a grout, or you can also come in and make that green as if it's some sort of moss. So don't struggle about how neat you are on all that. And then you just want to blend that out. Blend it out. And then the further up you come, you're going to start coming across here. Yeah, I'm coloring upside down. Y'all do understand that, right? So I've come up. Now I'm going to come down a little, just because it's easier to blend into those. Because you want that blending to be pretty seamless. Then keep coming up. And see, I'm not even going to worry about those in-between lines. Just get all that done. Then come in with the next shade, which is 90 warm gray, 1058. Now I'm going to come back over. Remember how I did there with the second shade? So here now, I'm going to come with the third shade. And I've already done over there. And then I'll come up here, and I'm actually going to lay my pencil down and blend into that second shade. Just do some blending. And then I'm going to come back with the second shade again and blend into the third. Just kind of overlap those a little bit. Okay? So light to dark because of what's around it. And then back in here, I would really deepen all this up. Whether you wanted to use greens or the same color as your path, totally up to you. But because it's tucked up under. So again, look at what is around. The sides here are going to be darker because of the foliage. And then it's going to be darker as we go back because this is hanging over the top and casting that shadow. All right? I hope this was a helpful video. I know it's been kind of all over the place. But like I said, hopefully it's helped. I will be back hopefully in a few days. And we will do something fun. I don't know. I'll see you then. Bye.